Yeah, so what's the problem?
Yeah, I'm just going to read it for you. I'm just reading the translation here. So it's Necho sent messengers to him saying, "What have I to do with you, king of Judah? I do not march against you this day, but against the kingdom that wars with me. And it is God's will that I hurry refrain than interfering with God who is with me, would not destroy you." But Josiah would not let him alone. Instead, he donned his armor to fight him, heedless of Necho's words from the mouth of God. And he came fight in the plain of Megiddo. Archers shot King Josiah, and the king said to his servants, "Get me away from here, for I am badly wounded." His servants carried him out of his chariot and put him in the wagon in his second in command and conveyed him to Jerusalem. There he died and was buried in the grave of his fathers, and all of Judah and Jerusalem went to mourning over Josiah. So Josiah was wounded in Megiddo. He was carried to Jerusalem, and there he died, right?
Okay.
Cool. You said there's no contradictions in the Torah.
Of course not.
Well, I'm showing you one, brother. You go back to yeshiva, maybe. I'm a rabbi, bro. I'm a rabbi, man. I'm a rabbi. Anyways, in his days, Pharaoh, Necho, king of Egypt, marched against the king of Assyria to the river of Euphrates. King Josiah marched toward him, but he confronted him at Megiddo and slew him. So where did he die? In Kings?
Megiddo.
So he died in Megiddo. His servants conveyed his body in a chariot from Megiddo to Jerusalem, and they buried him there. So in Kings, he dies in Megiddo. They carry his body and bury him in Jerusalem. In 2 Chronicles, he is wounded in Megiddo. He's carried all the way to Jerusalem. He dies in Jerusalem. He's buried. Is this a contradiction?
You know who Rashi is?
I know who Rashi is.
Okay, can you pull up Rashi? It's one of the commentaries.
Yeah, we can go to Rashi's commentary, no problem. It's not gonna. Oh, he doesn't have one on this. That's great. He doesn't have one here. It says it in plain Hebrew though. So Rashi's not gonna save you out of this. So here he dies in Megiddo and he's carried to Jerusalem. In Chronicles, he dies in Jerusalem. He's just wounded in Megiddo. Is this a contradiction?
First of all,
Where did Josiah die? At battle in Megiddo, or after his retreat back to Jerusalem? Genesis 20 verse 3. And God came to Avimelech in a dream at night, and said to him, Behold, you are a dead man, because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is a married woman. Although the verses show that Avimelech is alive, God nevertheless calls him a dead man, to convey the fact that his fate is already sealed. So too with Josiah. Scripture states that Pharaoh Necho killed him at Megiddo, employing the same idiom to indicate that his fate had already become sealed due to the severe wounds he sustained in battle. Thus, the purpose of Chronicles is to clarify the sequence. Josiah was first removed from the battlefield by his servants, severely wounded. Kings makes clear that it was too late. His fate was already sealed due to the severe wounds he sustained at battle in Megiddo. Josiah was then rushed to Jerusalem, where he succumbed to his injuries, as recorded in Chronicles. My only question is, why does this individual insist on interpreting my text in such an uncharitable manner, when one is easily able to resolve such an apparent contradiction through such basic linguistic reasoning? Is it because he is disingenuous and seeks to refute a religion that no amount of evidence would ever satisfy? Or is he just a simpleton who lacks the ability to employ common sense? Let us not forget that it is this individual's own scholars who regularly appeal to linguistic nuances to reconcile apparent contradictions within their own texts. This narration records two figures regarding the number of women Solomon intended to sleep with, 99 and 100. This narration within the same hadith collection records the number as 90 women, and this narration records the number as 70 women. At the textual level, these reports are entirely contradictory, for each narration presents a distinct numerical figure. Let us look to the words of Ibn Hajar, who seeks to resolve this contradiction. The solution offered by Ibn Hajar suggests that the number 70 functions as an idiom rather than a literal quantity, and that the reports of 90 and 100 are roundings of the true figure, 99. Although we may accept that 70 functions idiomatically, there is absolutely zero textual evidence within Bukhari's reports to assume that the figures pertaining to 99 and 100 are merely approximations. The reconciliation of Ibn Hajar is clearly imposed upon the text and not derived from it. Thus, even granting the 70 as idiomatic, we are left with at least 3 contradictory numerical reports. Once again, we are able to see the level of dishonesty Muslim missionaries are willing to go, that they should sacrifice the validity of their own religion in order to refute Judaism. Let us not forget that Judaism possesses absolutely zero contingency upon either Kings or Chronicles for our Sharia is rooted directly from the Torah, Mishnah, and the Talmud. We do not derive binding law from historical narratives, while this Sunni ignoramus derives the bulk of his religious traditions from the very same corpus containing these exact numerical contradictions, Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. The inconsistency is not ours, but his.